gentlemen, we are
live and recording.
live and recording.
Well, oh my God. Well,
Good morning from Galveston.
Yes, from God's country at the Texas City Dike. Well, right across the bay from Texas City Dike.
All right.
All right, well, let's just get going, shall we? Celebrating 10 years. Are we celebrating it? I don't think we are. Never mind that. 10 years of car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Show today, coming to you live from Woody's third annual Waterfront Car Show at the Topwater Grill in San Leon, Texas. The Texas City Dike is right there, just so you'll know. Coming up, we talk to some of the folks in attendance here at today's car show. We need more. Jeff will review his pre-owned car of the week, the 2018 Lincoln Continental.
Yep.
We got the racing calendar. We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars down there at the other end of the table. And that would be, we need more Jeff Zekin.
We do.
Over here we have King Conrad DeLong. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Thanks so much. This segment of In Wheel Time sponsored by Garages of Texas.
Yep.
Luxury garage suites. Put a roof over your ride. So glad that you could join us today. It is an absolutely stunningly gorgeous day. If you were to order weather in, this would be it.
Beautiful.
It's probably 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, a light breeze down here on the bay. Did you show him a picture of what you got over there in your menu, Mr. Zekin? Or do you have that?
Oh, well, let me do this.
We're right on top of it as always.
Yeah.
We've only had 2 hours to get this all set up.
Well, when you said
know,
menu, I was
Here
thinking
we
of
go.
food.
Here we go.
I was thinking food.
Were you thinking food?
I was
Well, at
thinking
any
food.
rate, I can tell you there's water all around us, and not too many boats because I guess they're all out on the bay doing their
There's a fishing tournament or something.
Yeah,
something.
fishing tournament going out
That's
here
why
today.
I'm hungry. Fish.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes you hungry.
Yeah.
I
Clams.
did not know that
I like clams.
about you. Well, at any rate, let's get on with our first guest, shall we? His name is Robert Smith. He runs Big Dawg's Garage.
What?
Yeah, and he's brought a collection of his cars here today that are pretty spectacular, I have to tell you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So it's good to see you. How you been?
I've been good.
Have you?
Yeah.
How come we've never met before?
I don't know.
Where you been? Where do you hang out?
In the Big Dawg's Garage.
Big Dawg's Garage. in
Yeah.
Magnolia,
Where is
Texas.
Big Dawg's Garage?
It is in Magnolia, Texas.
Ooh, Magnolia, Texas. Okay. Out there in God's country, up on the north side. Yeah, I've been up there. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine owns a company called Sweet Rides. You happen to hang out over there?
No, I don't.
No, Mark Rancourt is the guy's name. And he did a fantastic job on the paint job on my 1966 Corvette. At any rate, and I mean, he does really nice work out there, Sweet Rides in Magnolia, Texas.
Okay.
But at any rate, so do you do this for a living?
No, I don't. I'm an electrical contractor.
You're an electrical contractor, but you clearly have the passion for cars.
I do, and I've had it for a while, and I finally got the opportunity to be able to
Do something about it.
Do something
Act
about
on
it.
it. Well, let's start with the blue Corvette, since that's the one that's up here in front.
All right.
So tell me about it. What year is it?
That's a 1967 Corvette. I just actually purchased that one a 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a new
This is-
edition.
This is a new addition to the collection. 67, and it's a roadster, but it's a resto mod, I guess.
It is a resto mod. It was built at Bob's Auto Express in Spring, Texas.
Okay,
Bob does a lot of resto mod work.
right. So let's start with the exterior first. I see it's got a couple of roll hoops in there. That's not stock.
No, that's not stock. Bob had that put in. He actually took the soft top out to be able to install that. So
Okay.
I have a hard top for
Did
it.
Okay.
he build the car for himself or built it for you?
He built it for himself, and then he builds a lot of cars, so he's ready to move on to something else.
Gotcha.
And
So how old is the Resto Mod? Is when he obviously he built it for himself. He had it for a while, and then you bought it.
I'm going to probably say it's only been built for about a year. He actually put it through Beacom's auction when it was here in town.
Yep.
And it didn't reach his expectation. And brought it back home, and then, of course, I
got an eye on it.
We've been talking about it for several months now, and I was over at his shop the other day going over some things on my other vehicles he's working on. And I just said, Bob, we going to do anything with this? He said, he finally got down to a number I could.
Right.
And
something that you could
we shook hands, and
now you got it.
I have it.
And so have you had a chance to drive it much?
Not a whole lot, but
you did find out what the accelerator pedal does.
Oh yeah, He built it right. It's about 800 to the flywheel.
Oh my gosh.
800 horsepower to the flywheel.
And
nice.
what's the powertrain?
The powertrain's an LS3.
Okay.
He's got.
But that's not all.
No, he's done some extra port and polish. It's got a 2300 Magnuson supercharger on it.
Well,
so the Magnuson sits in the valley,
Right.
in the head valley. Generally, they look very nice.
Yeah,
And
he's got this one done good. I mean, you can actually, it's got a ZR1 hood on it, so it has where you can see the motor from the hood.
Okay. Oh wow, I didn't notice that. From here, it looked like it was a Stinger hood.
Yeah,
he's put a clear top on the blower.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at the roll hoops on the interior. Anything custom else on the interior?
Pretty much everything. I mean, the interior is pretty much custom. I mean, leather seats and everything. Custom gauges. I mean, it's.
And transmission?
Transmission on this one, I believe it's the.
Is it an automatic?
It's automatic.
Okay. So
it's built to withstand the power of the car.
Well, as you say, with a little smirk on your face.
Right.
Well, the other
thing.
thing.
I mean, it's a custom frame, C5 suspension. So
is it really?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So how many clutches have you had?
No, this isn't a clutch. This is automatic.
Automatic. I'm sorry. I
But visually, 67 Stinger hood, side pipes, and the faux knockoff wheels. Which the faux knockoff wheels weren't 67, but they look gorgeous.
Right. Those were custom built for it also.
Okay.
So, of course they were.
He spared no expense for it.
Yeah. Well, clearly. And I had no clue that it was, a custom frame with a lot of C5 stuff on it.
Right.
Very nice. Well, let's move on to the second one that you've got over there. And is it a Willis?
It is. It's a 41. It's a outlaw body.
Okay. I'm not familiar with an outlaw body.
Fiberglass.
Glass body. Okay.
Built by Outlaw, which is one of the top of the line, from what I understand and read up on.
Yeah. Well,
I tried to read up on as much before I
buy it.
Purchase.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. That's a beautiful car. Matter of fact, when you rolled in here, I said, I can't tell you how many of those things I saw got rumpled up, crumpled up, and destroyed at Myers Speedway back in the 1960s. Well, I mean, that's what most of the super modifieds ran with, that body style, 34 Fords, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Got a very small cabin. You sit shoulder to shoulder with whoever else is in there.
That's correct.
But it's cool. There's no doubt about it. So what kind of motor's that got in it?
That's got a 502 fuel-injected crate motor.
Now, why is there not a smirk on your face when you tell me that?
It's got a little bit of power, too.
Yeah, it does.
Think it's got some torque.
It's got some torque. It's got the 700 R4 transmission on it.
I was going to say, how many clutches have you put in? That's my question of the day.
Jeff,
Every day. Yeah.
It's the only question he knows.
That's the only one I know.
And it's got a set of big old fatties on the back.
It does have some fatties on there.
Yeah, you don't go around corners real fast with that.
Mickey
No, you
Thompson's?
won't.
Yeah, exactly.
And then-
Okay.
And then what's the chassis under that?
The chassis under there, I can't remember, to be honest
it's a
with
custom
you.
chassis.
It is a custom chassis.
And did you buy that car somewhat finished?
I buy all my cars somewhat finished.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
build them.
Good for you.
Okay,
Let them spend all the money and you enjoy them.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've done other things in the past and spent the money, and
You could put a bunch of money in a car.
I've got one in the shop now. It's on its third redo. I've probably got close to a lot of money in this one there.
You got more in it than your wife knows.
So I
What
know.
is it? What kind is it that you got working?
It's a '57 Chevy Bel Air.
Okay.
And when I originally purchased it, it was a drag car.
Oh.
So,
And you've turned it into a street car?
yes, I got out of the drag racing and turned it. I loved my car, so I turned it into a street rod here about 3 years ago. Put an LS2 in it. Air conditioning, power windows, power hood, power trunk. So it's been sitting for a while, and decided I wanted to do something else with it. And I've never had a blower car, so now I've got a 871 blower going on it right now. It's in the shop, almost done.
So is it obviously going to stick through the hood?
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot.
a lot.
You have to look around it to see the red light.
That's correct.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
Hopefully, I'll get it to a show before the end of the year.
Oh, really? Are you trying to get it ready for Autorama by any chance?
No, actually the 4 that are sitting out there are going to Autorama.
Are they?
Okay.
Oh. Very nice. Well, we should be there too.
Okay.
So we can
great.
say hello again.
I've got those 4, and I've got a custom show bike that I've taken.
Oh.
And do you drive these cars on a regular basis or as often as you can?
I try to. I mean, the red Corvette, I've probably driven it the most. I picked it up one day. I was sitting in my driveway and waiting on a concrete guy, and I'm going through Marketplace, and it came up, and
I got to have it.
I like that. And I've seen the price on it, and they've already reduced. I wonder what's wrong with it. So I called him, and they said, well, we got somebody coming to look at it. We'll call you if he doesn't. So about 2 hours later, I'm still there in my driveway, and
Phone rings.
phone rings. Hey, he never showed up. So
You interested? Yeah, I'm interested. I'll take it.
That's right. So, I went all the way. Well, they're about an hour away from me over in a little town of Brenham, Texas.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I know where Brenham is.
And went over there, and it was sitting in a unclimate-controlled building.
Nice.
And anyway, it had a little knocking in the motor, but you could tell it had been redone. And the guy was trying to explain to me, he had it redone 5 years ago, but he never drove it. So I'm thinking, okay, it's just lifters. So
Oh, it's never that simple, is it?
no, it never is.
It was a crankshaft.
But it didn't matter anyway. I was going to take that motor. It wasn't an original motor in it. And
Right.
I could already visualize an LS3 sitting in that one. So
I'm going to rebuild it and leave a knock in it. How's
Yeah.
that?
So we're gonna take about $8,000 off the price of the car because obviously I'm going to have to do some motor work to it. And there you go.
So
right.
is that
And then of course before I left there, my buddy goes, "Oh, did you see that '55 Bel Air that's on the other wall?" So
Somebody.
So it was one of those deals where 2 for 1, So
Nice.
I got
Oh,
them.
I'll buy both of them, but we're going to have to make a little package deal on it. Is that how it turned out?
Right. So
Good.
the Bel Air happened to have an LS2 motor in it already.
Yeah.
Well, now that I have it, it also has twin turbos on it now.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Oh yeah.
So who built the engines for you?
The engines on the Corvette was built at Accelerator in I don't know if you call it Tomball or Pinehurst or
Out there in your neck of the woods.
out there in my neck, right down the road from my shop, which is dangerous because
Yeah.
I can take stuff over to them real easy.
Yep. And
And with twin turbos on it real fast.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
yeah, and he says that so nonchalantly. Yeah, it does run pretty good.
But I don't have them tuned to race or anything. I got them for show
And to drive.
and to drive.
Yeah.
And when we had it on the dyno over there, we got it up to 800, and I said,
was
no,
good.
let's
You can't-
tune it down.
I was just going to say you can't really put that all to the ground anyway, so you're good. Just ease into that
What I've
accelerator.
kind of discovered doing the car, I just got back and doing the car shows about a year ago.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine got me back into it. Thanks, Frankie.
Yeah.
But
Frank Talbert?
Frank Rodano.
I know Frank as well. With the red Chevelle.
Yes.
Yeah, 70
Yep,
SS
so-
454.
So he come over, he helped me get everything loaded up, and he helps me spend some of my money.
Good.
Nice guy.
Frank
Nice
is a great guy.
Okay, well, yeah. Listen, we need to take a quick break,
All
but I
right.
want to talk to you about the Hudson.
Okay.
Very interesting truck. So stand by. We've got more of the In-Wheel Time Car Show after this.
Garages of Texas offers first-class luxury garage suites to keep your collection in a safe, secure location with 24-hour access. You'll love your own private space that's developed with other like-minded enthusiasts in 2 Houston area locations, in Katy and the Woodlands. Visit garagesoftexas.com to see how other enthusiasts have designed their motor vehicle man cave. But you need to act fast. These properties are almost sold out. Visit garagesoftexas.com for full details.
It's the In-Wheel Time Car Show coming to you today from San Leon, Texas. And
Leon.
Top water grill. The top water.
Spit it out.
Here.
Oh,
I don't want it. I can't read.
got all
Now
my
we're going to
stuff.
make a mess.
You know, it's funny. Everybody's telling
That's
me.
mine. That's mine in the bottom. Gee whiz.
Children, please.
So, our guest here in San Leon, Texas, is at the Top Water Grill is Robert Smith with Big Dawg's Garage.
Hey, Robert.
And so we want to know about the Hudson.
All right.
And you rolled in here and was like, wait a minute. Is that a stretched hood on that Hudson? Are those fenders stock?
Well, no, nothing stock on it. It was, of course, it was pro-built too, probably about 10 years ago up in the state of Washington.
The state of Washington.
Yeah, I just happened to be going. I don't know what I was looking at one evening, and I wasn't even looking for that.
Democrats. You were looking for Democrats in the
Yes,
state
yes,
of
of
Washington.
course, Democrats. And run through it, and I looked at it, and I said, oh, I've never seen anything like that before. I like that. I don't like stock things. I like unique things. Something nobody else has.
That's why you and I get along.
And
Because
that,
I'm
that Hudson
definitely
is
a unique.
Not only is it stretched, it's lowered and chopped. Because that top can't be, that window top can't be, that's
no,
not
it,
stock.
it had had a lot of work done to it. I mean, I've got a book on it. Anyway, I talked to the guy about it, and the original owner bought it in 1946. He used
Oh, wow.
it, and he used it as a hunting truck. Well, he had the owner I bought it from, the second owner, bought it in 1976, and he put a camper on it, used it to go camping. Well, I think in the early 2000s, 2005, he said he wanted to do something different. He had a friend that had a hot rod shop. So he put it in there and spent a lot of money.
A lot of
It
money.
got carried away.
And clearly he's taken the camper top off of it.
Yes, yeah, it didn't come with it.
And the suicide doors, though, that wasn't originally suicide doors, was it? I don't know enough about the Hudson.
I think the original owner put them in because it was easier to get out of the hunt.
Oh, okay.
No, it was built when it was built to the shop.
Yeah, because that's always a cool feature, suicide doors on anything. And I know there are some cars that had them, but I didn't recall that did. It's a beautiful truck.
Well, let me ask, does that have an LS motor in it too?
No, it doesn't, but it does have a big block 468 in it
Okay.
with automatic transmission.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really a driver, something that I would drive very far.
Right. You
Very much of a show car.
You drive it into the show and drive it out of the show
Right.
and put it in the trailer.
I like the tilt forward hood too. That's a neat
If
feature.
if it's a local show, within I'm going to say 10 miles, I would drive it to the show.
Right.
But
It's a little bit further down here for you.
I mean, you can tell by my red one, my red Corvette. I drive it quite a bit, and I've already noticed a few little rock chips on it already.
That's
so
okay.
I'll get it fixed.
I've got a C5 Corvette, a 2001 model that has, believe it or not, now 25,000 miles on it. And I have to tell you that it has some rock chips on the hood. I've had a lot of detailing on the paint done to it so it's nice and shiny. And it hurts me, but yet the car is a driver, and I have to continue to tell myself that because I too come from the show car thing, and I've done that, and I've had the custom paint job, and I've spent all of my money on it, and I've won the big trophies. But there's something about being able to drive nice cars.
That's correct.
That's what you kind of go for.
Well, when I first started getting back into adding to my collection and driving, I said, I'm going to drive mine to the shows.
There you go.
All that.
Yeah.
And I pretty much will, except for the Hudson.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You got enough that you can choose from, and that works for me. Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful little collection. Now, is this all you have in your collection?
No.
Got the 57 in the shop, the twin turbo 55.
I got a beautiful 56 Nomad in the shop right now. I was just putting a new front runner and a new polished aluminum radiator in it.
Nice.
So it'll be going to the shows here pretty quick. I've only taken it to one show.
And you blame Frank.
Yeah, and I blame Frank for that, too.
So Frank is kind of like a wife. He
where
did
is
it.
Frank?
Where is Frank here today?
Yeah, Frank is here today.
Frank, where are you?
He drives a
Look
red.
at him. He's
there
looking.
He is.
There he is.
He's waving.
He's waving.
Frank.
Well, we'll have to talk to Frank here in our next interview. But
I have a 66 Nova that's really nice Nova. I'm going to hang on to for a little while.
Oh.
So I kind of get the feeling that you're mostly a Chevy kind of guy.
I am a Chevy kind of guy.
LS
I get
Cubs.
And I like LS, but I like big block motors. I do have a 350 motor in one of my cars. It's a 1970 Suburban 3-door.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
3/4 ton 4x4.
Oh, my gosh. How rare is that?
Very rare.
And is it carbureted?
I already put a fuel ejected sniper on it.
But it looks, so it looks like a carburetor. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He's the one that convinced me that that's the way I should do it.
I actually just put it in the shop just to do a few things. I'm putting a different gauges in it. The ones that was put in it, they don't stay working half the time. So
Now, Robert, do you do any of this work yourself?
no, I don't.
You used to, though.
I did tinker with them years ago. I've been more into motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I had a little accident a couple of years ago up in South Dakota, so it slowed me down a little. I still ride, but not as much.
Yeah.
South Dakota, so somewhere out there near Sturgis.
Yeah, it wasn't during. It was on Labor Day weekend, and we were out for a ride, and me and an ATV collided.
Ouch.
Oh, Lord.
So,
Well, this guy here knows all about motorcycle
Yeah, I
wrecks.
had a pretty bad one back in '81, so haven't sat on one since.
right, well, I still get on them. I just hadn't been on one as much. But right after the accident, I actually went out and bought a German-made Riwaco trike.
Riwaco.
Yeah, Riwaco's a German-made motorcycle.
Where do you find stuff like that?
Man, I just
The
unusual.
I finally learned how to use a computer after all these years.
Well,
so-
Riwaco.
Well, good. Can you teach Mars?
Riwaco in German means trike.
Right. So
So what's the
Anyway-
powertrain on it?
I made that up.
the powertrain on the one I have now is
Say,
a,
dadgum.
I think it's a 1.7 or 1.8 Mitsubishi Turbo.
Oh wow. Oh gosh.
But it was low because, see, I was still on a walker when I bought this thing.
Oh boy.
And matter of fact, I got a picture where me and my buddy, we went out to Reno, and I got my walker strapped to the back seat.
Oh my gosh.
So,
God.
so it takes a lot to keep me down, you know. So, but
So what's the name of your electrical company?
Robert G. Smith Electric Inc. We mainly do new construction apartment wiring, and we are one of the larger electrical contractors that does that type of work in the Houston area.
So off the subject here, so let me ask you, how is it getting parts these days? Wiring, wire nuts, all the stuff that you use to do your job. I'm just
Are you seeing any issues with supply constraints?
A lot of issues. Of course, copper wire jumped
Sky
way
high,
up. So But right now, the big issue, besides everybody raising their prices on everything, is PVC and PVC products.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, two of your major people that has something to do with PVC or the resin or the oil that goes with it was in, of course, Louisiana where the hurricane hit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, right now we couldn't even find any plastic boxes for light boxes a week ago.
Wow.
We had to switch over to metal.
Well,
which
how
costs,
important are those? Do you really need those? I mean, how important are they?
What's that?
The
The
boxes.
little electrical
They're
boxes.
very
I
important.
mean, they're
boxes.
hidden. Nobody can see them.
Yeah.
They only stop the fires, Jeff.
Right. So it has caused a lot of problems.
Well, Robert, great collection of cars that he's brought here today
Beautiful collection.
at
Thank you.
Woody's 3rd annual Waterfront Car Show.
While Frank and your crew are over there setting up signs.
Right.
And we'll talk to Frank.
It's nice to have a crew.
Yes.
I couldn't do this by myself.
Wish I had a crew.
You know, thank goodness for good friends like Frank and of course
Well,
I
who's
have,
the other guy? Because
and I
there's
have
another guy
Sonny.
working on it.
well, that's my son-in-law.
Oh, so you married into this.
Oh yeah. So,
You can't get away from it.
Grab that towel and wipe
and
that
then the
car.
other gentleman with me today is a longtime friend of mine for about 25 years. So he come down to help me.
Well,
today.
cool.
Very nice.
He's from up in Broadus, Texas, so he come all the way down to
A little
help the
bit
trailer
further,
one.
yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful day.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Sure
you
is.
so much for stopping by. Robert Smith, Big Dawg's Garage.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Robert.
And as soon as we are you ready now? You ready?
We're waiting on
checking.
you.
All right. So this is the In Wheel Time Car Show. We've got more right after a quick break.
Winning the highest sales satisfaction award among all luxury brands from J.D. Power in 2020 tells you everything you need to know about your Lincoln purchase from Bayway. Bayway Lincoln is where a premium buying experience is a priority, and you're invited to feel it yourself. This Houstonian-owned premier dealership is managed by Lincoln Stahl, a seasoned member of the Bayway family. If it's online, in person, or in your own driveway, Bayway gets you to the luxury level you deserve. Bayway Lincoln is on the Gulf Freeway at Fuquay, just inside Beltway 8. Visit BaywayLincoln.com today. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in, returns Saturday morning, October 16th to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and you're invited. Collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods will all be on display. Lupi founder, car collector, and drag racer Stan Holt brings you the coolest Saturday morning cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos. Car show season's just around the corner and time to stretch your car's legs in a fun family event. There'll be plenty of fabulous, fresh, made-to-order Lupi tortilla tacos, hot coffee, and adult beverages, too. This is Houston's coolest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10, and on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby inside the Loop. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, October 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Gulf Coast Auto Shield has moved to a more convenient location. Now you can visit John Gray and his staff of dedicated professionals at their new shop on the South Sam Houston Parkway between Belford and Airport in Southwest Houston. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the best at paint correction and ceramic coatings. Clear bras and custom wraps are specialties that only Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs with award-winning accuracy, and all their services come with a warranty. Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Porsche, and Ferrari owners depend on Gulf Coast Auto Shield for their specialty services, and you should too. The In-Wheel Time Corvette and Cutlass have both been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield, so isn't it time your vehicle visit their new shop in Southwest Houston? Call John Gray today at 832-930-5655 or visit online at gcautoshield.com. That's gcautoshield.com. Paint, coatings, wraps, and more at gcautoshield.com.